Where were these same Democrats' calls for impeachment when evidence emerged that President Obama had violated their standard? Obama leveraged the power of his office to the detriment of U.S. policy on missile defense in order to influence the 2012 election, solely to his advantage.
President Trump's legal team tearing into Democrats for their so-called selective justice.
They argue the case against former President Obama would have been stronger than the current charges against President Trump.
Can House managers claim abuse of power if they're only holding their political opponents accountable? Here to react is Florida Congressman Greg Steube. Congressman, thanks for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So what do you make of that argument? I just feel like right now we're at that point where we continue to go around in circles and you're kind of arguing to your base on both sides because it doesn't seem like anyone's going to be swaying to the other side at this point anyway.
Yeah, I think the American people have made up their mind. And to the point that you just made, we have Joe Biden on national television admitting to a quid pro quo. So, of course, it's selective justice. They're deciding to go after President Trump because they know they can't beat him at the ballot box. And let's take it back. I mean, the Judiciary Committee that I've been on for over a year now, first it started off with Russia collusion. We had Bob Mueller come. We had all of this. Then it was obstruction of justice. Then suddenly the whistleblower comes around. So this has been something the Democrats have been trying to do since the moment they took the reins in the House.
You know, we're talking about the defense and what they're using here. They're talking about this moment, and let's show you real quick this moment between President Obama and the president of Russia at the time, Dmitry Medvedev.
This is my last election, basically. Yeah. And after my election, I have more flexibility. Yeah. Okay. I understand. I transmit this information to Vladimir.
So this was a conversation about a missile defense system that Russia did not want in place along Eastern Europe. And the president's defense says that he was using his power, the power of the office there, to help his reelection by selling out, I guess, American, our interests in that region. What do you say?
Yeah, I would agree with the Trump's defense team. Again, the hypocrisy of the Democrats is amazing to me. So, again, go back to the call transcript. Just like you have video of Obama and you have video of Joe Biden talking about a quid pro quo, you have the actual call transcript of President Trump and President Zelensky. There's no quid pro quo. There's no evidence of any wrongdoing in that call transcript. So it doesn't matter what any of these other people say. You have the actual transcript of the call that the American people can read for themselves the facts.
Let's talk about the possibility of this potentially going back to the House, because I'm sure, as you know, Congressman Steny Hoyer has floated the idea of calling John Bolton before the House. What would you make of that if that were to happen? Would that be the right move?
Well, it wouldn't be the right move for the country, but that's what the Democrats have spent their entire last year doing, is impeaching this president. Since January, since the impeachment articles have left the House and gone to the Senate, Judiciary Committee hasn't even had a single meeting. You want to know why? Because they're focused on impeachment, and they don't want to focus on the issues that they care about, like Medicare for all and the Green New Deal, because they know that the American people don't support that. So they're going to continue to keep this impeachment narrative going until the 2020 election because they think it's going to damage the president.
Well, you got to agree, Bolton just threw a lot of fuel on the fire of their argument with this release.
Well, it's just like when Bob Mueller was going to be the savior for the Democrats and have this big hearing and testify about all of this wrongdoing that never came to fruition. So I don't put much stock in that. Again, go back to the call transcript. And so I think the American people are sick and tired of this impeachment debacle, and I think we need to move on and work for the American people.
Congressman, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right.